Hi everyone, and welcome to this Stage 14 Tour de France betting preview and update. We'll have a look at today's stage in the Pyrenees. It's going to be an absolute thriller. This tour is perfectly set up, and I must say credit to the guys who set the route. They really have done a good job. We've got one of the more exciting tours, I believe, for a while, but we'll get more into that when we have a look at the general betting. If you are new to our channel, go down below and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss any of our videos. Let's go to yesterday, though, and wrap things up. It was an individual time trial. All the questions were being asked. Can Julian Alaphilippe retain the yellow jersey, or would he lose it to Geraint Thomas? Well, he not only retained it, but he extended his advantage with one of the great rides, certainly, that I think any of us have seen, was certainly a career-best ITT for Alaphilippe. Thomas was very strong, perhaps not as strong as he did say afterwards. He wasn't as strong as he wanted in the last 8Ks, but he was just 14 seconds back. Thomas, again, what a tour he's having. He gets the podium, and well done to the van on the Good for the Game forum, who tipped him at 25-1 for a top 3 finish. Uran showed he's not dead yet with a good time trial as well. Richie Port also showed there's life in the old dog there. So we've got a number of the favourites, I would say, running fairly to form. Someone like Port you weren't too sure of, and Uran for that matter. They probably did as well as they might have been expected to, but certainly didn't have bad rides. I think Mas was impressive. Buchmann was about what was expected. And Quintana, yes, he lost quite a bit of time. We'll look at the outright betting, but also probably not that much more than would have been expected in the stage. I just want to take you to Will Newton's preview page. Of course, you'll find him at Inside Peloton 96. He does those extensive previews on Twitter, well worth a watch. But I just want to see if I can show you this video here of Julian Alaphilippe, which he says is the best thing he's ever watched in cycling. This is the final ramp. It's not particularly long, but all of the boys struggled on this. Not this man. He absolutely creamed it. It was very, very impressive indeed. And in fact, we'll go to the outright betting in just a sec, but you'll see that Alaphilippe is short quite considerably. I put a poll on Twitter. Where will Alaphilippe finish this Tour de France? At the moment, 46% of you think that he can finish on the podium in the Tour de France? Well, I'm going to take you on a little bit later with quite a big bet on that one. Let's go along to the outright betting now. We'll have a look at the World Sports Betting. I've got their match bet page open there. We'll go here. And let's have a look. Geraint Thomas, as mentioned before yesterday's stage, the sort of good time trial was already built into his price. So he's pretty stationary at 13-20. Alaphilippe, he's now into 4-1. Egan Bernal, who had a bit of a disappointing time trial yesterday, 15-2. Pinot, who impressed, he's 16-1. Kruijswijk, 18-1. And as I talk, the betting is suspended. Let's actually pop across then to Sunbet and have a look at what happens. I can assure you that wasn't me who was punting anything to suspend that betting, but we'll just catch up with the general classification betting. I just wanted to go to my man Quintana, who, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Quintana 20-1 there. I think he was 25-1 at WSB. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's lost pretty much the time that you would expect to Thomas. He may be a minute further behind than he would like. But the nice thing for a guy like Quintana now is there's no more time trials to worry about. And if he's got the legs, he could start chipping away at Thomas in the mountains. That's questionable at the moment because Thomas is looking very strong. And you'll see when we go to the stage profile and betting that Thomas is actually the favorite for the stage. Let's go to the profile for stage 14. It's a fairly flattish start. You've got a Cat 4 climb here, which could be a launch pad, but going to be interesting to see what sort of break gets away today. I don't think that Quick-Step will let any of the guys remotely close to Alaphilippe get into the break. And by remotely close, I mean probably within about 8 or 9 minutes. I don't see them being allowed into the break. We then get to this Col de Soleil, which is a Cat 1, 11.9 kilometers at 7.8%. Yes, someone from the break will lead over the top of that, I've got no doubt. But who will it be? I see Sporting Bet have got 3-1 against 1-5 the field. I'd have to say that I'm not one normally for taking 20% returns on investment, but the 1-5 looks a decent bet. The Ghent must certainly be spent after yesterday, and he must pay the price at some time. You then have a fairly long descent down before the final climb, of course, the Col de Tourmalet. It's a brute, 19 kilometers at 7.4%. Some very steep inclines and patches. In fact, we can go and have a look at the profile quickly of the climbs. That's just, I think, taking a bit of time to come out. Let's have a look. Col de Soleil. Oh, well. Oh, there we go. There's the Tourmalet at least. You can see the black is the very steep ramps. We got ramps of like 18% there at one point. The red is steep and the blue are the flatter sections. But what a long and what a difficult climb. Let's go to the stage betting. There we go. World Sports Betting came up as you spoke there. Let's go to the stage betting now. And here we got Thomas at 4-1. I did see the biggest price, Thomas, 5-1 at Hollywood. Bear in mind, at World Sports Betting, you're getting your money back for seconds. So you'd have to weigh that up when you're considering whether you're going to be backing him. Thibaut Pinot, well, he is looking very good. I was very impressed with his ITT. He's 5-1. Bernal, 8-1. Lander, 10-1. Alaphilippe, he's 14-1. Quintana 14s, at Fuchslang 18s. So very much set up, you would think, for a showdown. And I'll just go back to the profile. Very much set up for a showdown on the final climb. That's the way the bookies are seeing it, and that's the way I'm seeing it as well. I cannot see the break surviving. I think the pace is going to be hot. We're talking about a short stage here. It's only 117.5 kilometers. The pressure is going to be on, and let's face it, everybody now needs to start putting pressure onto Thomas. I don't expect the teams to be overly reckless today, but I do think we might get the likes of a Movistar perhaps using Valverde on the penultimate climb, and Mikel Landa, he's known to attack from far. So we should get action. One way it could pan out is Ineos ride their tempo up the final climb, and Thomas sprints clear in the final 2 kilometers to win. But let's hope we get a little bit more than that. Let's hope we get Ineos put under pressure. But one way or another, I don't see the break lasting. I think we're going to get a winner from the GC here. Just in terms of the rest of the betting, a couple of guys I wanted to highlight down there. Mas, who has been very impressive so far. He says he's riding for Alaphilippe now. I don't believe that for a second. He's 40-1. And we've got Buchmann at 50-1. And you'll see I've included them in my staking plan. Let's go to that staking plan then on the Good for the Game forum. And to be honest, I think Thomas is a good bet at 5-1. But I really don't want to see him win for my long-term bets and just for the sake of the race. I want an exciting race. I'm going with half a unit on Mas at 40s and Buchmann at 50-1 at WSB. 2 units, Aru over Bennett at 5-4. That's on the match bets. So just going back to WSB, you can bet who's going to beat who on the stage. And here, my logic on this one is Bennett is well back. Aru's only, I think, 7 or 8 minutes back. It looks like he's trying to ride a decent classification place at this moment. He may well be moving to team lead with the form of Dan Martin. And I think Bennett will work hard today for Kruijsbach, but may well sit up now that he is so far out of the general classification. It's not a particularly confident play. I'm going 2 units, Aru over Bennett there at 5-4. And then I haven't put my stake in here yet, but here's the one I want to talk to you about. Alaphilippe to a podium, no, at 4-10, and that is at Sporting Bet. So I think essentially I'm backing Alaphilippe. Let me see if I can find it here. It'll help if I pull it up. Alaphilippe, top 3. Let's have a look. Come on, top 3. He's right at the bottom here somewhere. He's 2-5 or 4-10 not to finish in the top 3. Now, I'm going to be taking a big bet on this. I honestly don't think Alaphilippe can finish in the top 3. If we have a look at what he's done so far, he's ridden a brilliant tour. He's a brilliant rider. He did a good time trial, better than anybody expected, but he has ridden a good time trial before. Stage 6 was a stage where he managed to hang with the favorites. They rode that final climb fairly slowly. It was quite a short climb. Explosive at the end, it suited him. He hasn't been into the high mountains yet, other than 2 days ago when the GC guys soft pedaled. So he hasn't been tested. We've seen in the past he doesn't like the long climbs. There's no doubt he's in better condition than he's ever been in before. I don't think he's even got the team to protect him in the mountains. And I would say that Alaphilippe is not going to run in the top 3. And I'm doing something I don't normally do. I'm emptying out on the 4-10. I'm taking quite a big bet. I will post on the forum how many units I get on it. It actually depends on how much I've got in my account. But I'm actually going to empty out for what I see as a 40% return. This comes with a warning. The last time I spotted serious value was Matthews in the green jersey without Sagan. And that very afternoon, he decided to work for his teammates and drop the green jersey altogether. So please, if you do follow or include it in multiples, this comes with a health warning. Do so at your own risk. I haven't been in the greatest of form with finding these things of late. Anyway, that's my staking plan. I will get the bet on now and see how much I can get on that Alaphilippe bet. But we should be in for a great stage today. Today is not so much about my bets as more about just looking how the long-term race pans out. And I'm hoping that Quintana has a good day. Thanks for watching the Tour de France preview. Yes, please do subscribe if you can. And look out, next week we'll have a live rest day wrap. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel for that.